Of their anniversary, I chose a song to sing today by Steve Green, and it's called Cherish the Treasure. It's actually a duet from singing. I'm not singing two parts. I just want the man singing and then the woman singing. They're singing to one another. But it's a beautiful song, and I think that it really exemplifies those two and how they have cherished the treasure of one another over 65 years. I cherish the treasure of you, lifelong companion. I give myself to you. God has enabled me to walk with you faithfully and cherish the treasure of you. This would be Ken's part. As I obey the Spirit's voice and seek to do His will, I then can see the wisdom of His plan. For as He works His will in me, I then can love you selflessly, and by His grace can pledge my love to you. I cherish the treasure of you, lifelong companion. I give myself to you. God has enabled me to walk with you faithfully and cherish the treasure of you. Now this is Norma. This sacred vow. Come ahead. This sacred vow I make to you does not contain an I, though I'm aware that trials lie ahead. I will love you and pray for you, and through it all I will stay with you. Our home will be a refuge of unconditional love. I cherish the treasure of you, lifelong companion. I give myself to you. God has enabled me to walk with you faithfully and cherish the treasure of you. 65 years. I cherish the treasure of you. Are you going?
You shouldn't sing those kind of songs just before I'm going to get up and talk. She did that last month, too. I stood here crying instead. That's a beautiful song. I don't know why I've never heard it, but I've walked it. Absolutely. I've walked it. And I've got the best mate anybody could ever have. Pam, be careful. It's for keeps, honey. I never thought I'd make it to 65, but then I never thought of it. Who thinks of it when you're in the midst of it? You just do it. But I've got the most wonderful husband. I got to brag a little bit. He takes care of me like a queen. He watches over me with all my back surgeries and all the several surgeries I've had. I couldn't have done it without him. And I guess he couldn't do it without me either. That's kind of the way it works, huh? But he's a wonderful man, and I thank God for him so much. I want to see how many first-timers we have here today. Here's 2. Well, here's 3, Steve. Okay, there's some names that I wrote down. You better be here, because that name, I could not for the life of me figure out what it was. I want to meet you afterwards, see what's attached to that name. Well, people are coming in a little bit slow today, so that's all right. We have pastors here today, don't we? How many pastors? Would you please stand up? Ministers? Yes. You know, I said all the time, we can't do it without you. We're in this together. The business people need the pastors. And I'm so happy to have our speaker here today. I got to say something about it. I know Ken's going to too, but he's a very special man to us. When we were stepping out on our own, didn't know what to do, nobody prayed for us, we thought, oh boy, I hope this is a God thing. Well, we went to Beaches Chapel the first time after we had left this other sanctuary, and unbeknownst to us, Steve didn't know a thing was going on. I don't think how much you knew, Steve, but anyhow, he wanted us to come up on the platform and pray for us. You know, that's the only sending out we've had for this ministry the last 25 years, was Steve McCoy sent us out with his elders praying for us. Now, give Steve McCoy a hand. Because, you see, we probably wouldn't be here if we hadn't had that prayer behind us like it is. So thank you, Steve. We appreciate it. And, you know, and we've got our little yeah, right there, Wendy. our little judge with us. We just have to have you here. We can't go on any further without you, honey. Okay, and I want you to know that the chef made a beautiful cake for us back there. And the girls just said, I don't know what to do. We can't clear the table and serve the cake. It's too noisy. So they said, we'll cut it and put the cake out on the table so you can all go back there and get one. Is that all right? Can you do that? Don't eat too much so you can't move. You're going to have turkey today, I hear. And what does that have? Tryptophan in it, and it makes you tired. So wake up, folks. You're going to have something wonderful coming from our guest speaker today. Okay, what's next? Hi, Tom. Oh, my goodness. What do we have here? Should I put the mic down? I might need it to shut you up. you so much.
Does this thing work? That was too hard on my emotions, Vicki. I had no. Where did you find these pictures? And my son, yeah, he's got. Thank you, Vicki. That's hard on my emotions. I can tell you, Norma was bragging about me. I'm going to tell you something I've never heard by anybody else. I met Norma in May. I was a smoking, drinking guy. You know, only difference between me and the inmates, God caught me for the cops through Norma. We met in May. I asked her to marry me in June. She told me, she says, I like you. You're a great guy, but you're going to have to change your lifestyle, and I'll help you. I quit smoking, drinking one day, never did it since. I needed help. I gave her a diamond in July, married her in October. And we've been married 65 years. She's sweeter as the days go by. I could talk too long, but I'm not going to. But it really got my emotions watching that. I just wanted to cry. Because I saw my boys with us, our grandkids. 2 of our sons are already in heaven. Grandson in heaven. Daughter-in-laws in heaven. Parents in heaven. 2 brothers in heaven. And I'm still here. And I tell Norma, I said, honey, I hoped I hear the trumpet blow today because I'm ready to go. Are you ready? That's a real key. Because I was a very unhappy young man. The reason I got in jail ministry, I did very well in the business world, 23 years, got a big bonus check, give me a car. And God says, now you've done it for yourself. Now will you do it for me? I quit and never went back to business again. The vice president of an insurance company, I was second in the nation, vice president called, what's happened to Ken? Doesn't want to do it anymore. She said God called him to do something else. And we're still here surviving after all these years. And we built a whole church, as you saw, off of street people. Our average age at one time is 23 years old. We took the bad ones that the churches didn't want at that time. I brought 30 to a church. The pastor got with me, he says, don't bring those again unless they dress different. So they came to me and says, will you and Norma be our pastors? And that's how I got into ministry. They asked us if we would take care of them. So anyhow, thank you, Jesus. All I can say, Norma and I have been dealing with a few little things recently, but the Lord told us 1986 July in Dallas, Texas, a large meeting. A pastor from California was speaking. He stood up. He said, I can't do the sermon until I tell Ken and Norma what God has told me to tell them. You are moving to the south and east into a historical area. You will work with all denominations, and you will see a spiritual awakening. We've been in St. Augustine since 1987. We have seen breakthroughs. But the Lord said through the particular man, if you too do what God's placed, what I've told you and put in your heart, I will give you health, I'll meet all your needs, and I won't fail you. That's why every day we get up, we ask, Daddy, what should we do today? So I'm here because he has placed us here. Thank you for coming. Not going to say any more. If I'm careful, I'll start breaking down. I don't need that. Thank you for being here. We love you. Eat your food.
Well, while you're eating, right before our speaker comes, let me just share two things. Well, maybe three things. All right. Back on the table, there's information about the ministry. We want you to pick that up and use that as an opportunity to invite somebody else. There are many people that still need to hear that we're here and what we're doing. And so there's a couple different flyers. There's this flyer that talks about the ministry in total, and then there's another one that talks about our networking groups that meet on Tuesdays, the first and third Tuesday of the month. It has the information, so I won't say anything more about that. If you're interested in it, see me afterwards. On your table, if you want to pass these around, there should be one for everybody on the table. Codes for kids. We at the marketplace, we want to encourage and instill in your hearts and in your spirits just the love for Jesus, and to encourage you to continue on with him. But we don't just want to fill your bellies with food at a luncheon either. And so we want to partner with ministries that are doing things that are transforming lives in the city. And so we are wanting to partner with Somebody Cares St. Augustine for their Codes for Kids. And so there's information about it, but maybe your church is involved and you're already collecting codes for kids at your church. That's excellent. That's wonderful. If not, and you want to participate, we invite you to bring your coats next month. And John Clifton, John, you want to raise your hand or stand, or he's going to take them next month. All right. So bring the coats for kids. And other items in there. Winter coats, raincoats, umbrellas, rain boots, socks, and belts. Bring all of that you would like to the luncheon next month. And John he says he'll have a box. I said it better be an awful big box. But bring that with you next month, and we will partner with them and truly transform lives, especially the lives of our kids in school. All right. One other thing that I want to announce, and then Ken's going to come back and introduce the speaker. On November 6th, we are having a Pastors and Wives Appreciation Dinner. We cannot transform this city without our pastors. We must have our pastors, and we just want to show them appreciation, help them to get to know one another, especially the wives. A lot of the pastors' wives don't get a chance to meet one another, and so we're having a dinner for them right here on November 6th, and we want to invoke your help a little bit. Number one, if you want your pastor and his wife to be invited, get that information to us. We have a lot of the information, but if you want us to specifically invite your pastor and let them know, hey, someone from your congregation really talked to us about inviting you. They wanted you to be at this appreciation dinner. Let us know. You can send it via email to marketplacecpr@gmail.com. Marketplace CPR, that's easy to remember since that's the name, at gmail.com, or talk to myself afterwards and we'll get that information. It's going to take about, because we want to give them dinner, we want to give them a little gift, and we've got a special speaker, Bishop Vaughn McLaughlin from Potter's House is going to be here to encourage them and challenge them. It's going to cost about $25 per person or $50 a couple. And we would just ask you, if you would like to bless our pastors from the county, if you would like to do that, please see us, and you can write a check today if you would like to do that to Marketplace CPR. If you want to put it on a credit card, Vicki will be at the table, and you can donate whatever you would like. But we would just ask you, because you're part of the ministry. Without you, we don't have the funds and the finances to do that. If your business would like to sponsor, maybe even a whole table, that would be wonderful. But just see us afterwards. But we really want to truly get to the pastors and their wives and get them together, get them to truly meet one another, encourage one another. We meet on Wednesday mornings for prayer with pastors from 8:30 to 9:30, and we're always trying to encourage more to come and be a part of that, just to be able to build the bonds of ministry together. That's what's going to help to transform our city like we really want to see it done. All right. God bless you. Ken.